Welcome to C-Fan Sports, the channel that is dedicated to the nation of Seattle sports fans. I'm Dave. This is Kevin. How you doing today, Kevin?
I'm great. I'm excited for another episode, and we're going to have some fun today and talk about some great things, I think.
Absolutely. That is the plan. But before we get into that plan, let's have a little bit of housekeeping. If you guys could do us a huge favor, subscribe, hit the notification button, leave us some thumbs up, comment if you don't like it, leave us thumbs down. We're all good, no matter what. Well, we take the good with the bad.
Yep.
You know, I can't get subscribers. I couldn't go to Amazon and order some subscribers. I'm going to need some help from our Seattle fans out there. Speaking of Amazon, Kevin, I don't know about you, but I get paid once a month in my normal regular job. So what I do throughout the month is I put together a little wish list of things that I want. I put stuff on there. I take stuff off, depending on the needs that I have. Do you have anything going on like that, Kevin?
No.
So in my world, in my household, that's what I do. Now, if I find an incredibly awesome bargain, I might just pick that up right there, then and there. So a couple of days ago, a bargain that John Schneider may have opened up and looked at his Amazon account and saw a bargain just kind of inched onto the market. The Washington football team decided to let Morgan Moses go out and seek a trade. Well, when the trade couldn't be found, they just outright released him. Now, he's a right tackle, and he is quite an intriguing prospect that I think would look wonderful in a Seattle Seahawks uniform. What we're going to talk about today, Kevin, is not just Morgan Moses. So we're going to talk about the top 11 free agents that are left on the market right now. Yep. So the first one that is the number one guy is Morgan Moses, right tackle. He's 6'6", 335. He's 30 years old. He's 1 year older than Brandon Shell, who we currently have. Brandon Shell is 6'5", 324. And last year, Brandon Shell had an overall grade of 71.4. He had 78.8 on the pass block grade, and he had a run block grade of 63.4. Now, Morgan Moses, his was a run block grade of 85.9 and a pass block grade of 70.8. The difference between the two, Kevin, and the reason that I think that we should be going after this guy is that he has played in 96 straight games.
Yep.
He is a rock, a solid rock at the end of the line. Now, Brandon Shell, if we don't make this trade and we won't make this acquisition and bring Morgan Moses, we still have a quality right tackle in place in Brandon Shell. However, if there's a way that we can figure out to get Morgan Moses and lock down that right side of the line and bring that steady Eddie, because I think last year when Brandon Shell had those injury problems, that's when our offense fell off. Kevin, thoughts?
Agreed 100%, Dave. I have Moses Morgan for a total grade of 80.6 for combined grade. Mm-hmm. I have Brandon Shell at 72.7. I mean, what crazy person wouldn't want Morgan Moses on their team? You know, anytime we can beef up our line, I say we got to do it. And on the top 11 picks, 100%, he was my number one guy that I would like to add to our team.
Yeah, he's the number one consensus free agent that's roaming around the streets out there right now, Kevin. I don't think he's going to last long out there. And I think that if I know anything about John Schneider, he is burning up the phone lines trying to get this kid into the Seattle area. That's what I think is happening.
Well, and he played a complete year. I mean, in every game last year, unlike some of these other guys on the top 11 list. He ended up with 6 penalties, 5 sacks allowed, which was a little bit on the high side, I thought, considering Dwayne Brown had 2 penalties and 2 sacks allowed. So there was,
and I understand that, but he also played almost 1,100 snaps as well.
Correct. In all reality, Dwayne Brown had 10,000 or 1,048 snaps. So Dwayne Brown is the rock. If we could pick up Morgan Moses, I'm all on board. I don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to discourage it. If we could get him and even keep Shell, oh my goodness. I know it doesn't pencil that way, but that would be my wish list if I could put a wish list together.
Well, and I understand what you're saying. However, Kevin, I think in order to sign this kid and keep us in contention to bring in a couple more of these 11 free agents that we have the list of here, I think we're going to have to move on from Brandon Shell. But, we can always dream. It's on the Amazon wish list. There it is.
Yeah, and that's what I was thinking. If I'm going to have a wish list, let's make it a wish. So
there you go. All right, Kevin, number two. Oh, you got another point?
Nope, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, no, if you got another point on Morgan?
Nope.
Nope. All right. So next one, number 2, according to Pro Football Talk, Sheldon Richardson is the number 2 prospect out there. He has a grade of 71.1. However, he walked away from Cleveland, who is going to be a Super Bowl contender, because they would not pay him what he thought he was worth.
Correct.
And I don't think that we're going to be able to be in the Sheldon Richardson sweepstakes with the amount of cap room that we have left and bring in somebody like a Morgan Moses. So I think he's going to cost too much. I think his production was average. I mean, above average. He would have probably been in the Jaron Reed type of range. Kevin, you have any interest in Sheldon?
No, I don't have any interest in Sheldon. I do like, he did have 6 sacks last year, though. And I checked out Puna Ford. He had an 81.9 overall grade, 3 sacks. So that is way better and for a lot less money. Brian Monet, not overall 6.4 grade, 1 sack. Al Woods didn't play last year, so I don't know too much about what he's going to bring. I know they're going to mix and match. They're going to bring some other guys over.
From what I understood, they're going to bring LJ Collier and Rasheem Green in on passing downs.
Correct.
Pairing them up with Kerry Hyder Jr. and of course Dunlap. So
yeah,
I see some pass rush in the pass rushing downs to see what we can get to the quarterback.
Yep.
So neither one of us are interested in Sheldon Richardson. He is. We've taken him off of our Amazon wish list and put him, back into general population. Next one is just like that. We are crazy. We thought it was a bargain, but it's not. All right, the next one, number 3 on the Pro Football Talk top 11 is Steven Nelson, cornerback out of Pittsburgh. He had 1 interception last year, 67.1 grade. From what I understand, what I heard is he's more of a zone type of a cornerback. I don't think he would fit in our system the way that another couple of quarterbacks on this list would go. So I don't think he would look good in the blue and green. Kevin, thoughts?
No, he's not on my wish list. And I also believe that Buffalo is very interested in signing him. They didn't say when, but they said that they were definitely interested. So, I'm okay with them signing the Buffalo.
Well, stays in the AFC.
Yep.
Nope. There we go. Next one on number 4 on Pro Football Talk, Mitchell Schwartz.
Yep.
32 years old. He is another right tackle, but from everything I read, he wants to stay in Kansas City. Can't say I blame him too much. I think he said he would take a hometown discount to stay there. Don't think I think he's taken us off of his wish list. And so
right.
I don't. So there we go. I think that Mitchell Schwartz not probably a fit in Seattle's future.
Well, and he wasn't even on my wish list even though he wants to stay in Kansas City. Having back surgery, 31 years old.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know if I'm interested at this point. Maybe after this year, maybe in 2022, if he's still available, or if he signs a 1-year deal and he performs very well after the back surgery. But he just had back surgery in February. So I'm not sure I really would be excited about this guy.
All right. So we're taking number 4, and we've taken him off our list. He's taken us off his list.
Yep.
We're not even dating right now. I can't
No.
even talk about that. So the next one, number 5, is somebody that I'm pretty much really interested in. And it's Brian Poole, cornerback out of New York for the Jets.
Yep.
He is 5'10". I think he could be the next breakout star. He was kind of had shoulder injury problems last year. I think he fits really well with the type of, I think if he came in, we taught him the kick step, I think he would be really effective in our system. He's very aggressive, had a 77.1 player grade according to Pro Football Focus. I really think this kid could be something for us. What do you think, Kev?
Yeah, he graded out to be the 11th best corner in last year with Pro Football Focus. I like the guy. He's a hard hitter. We talked about that a little bit previous, and I think he would be a great fit. I kind of looked at around, and I was just thinking, okay, we picked up Witherspoon.
Yeah.
He graded out at 80.2.
Mm-hmm.
We picked up a very nice looking corner in the 4th round of the draft.
Yep, Trey Brown.
Yep, and then
we got Desir.
Yeah.
We also picked up Pierre Desir, who is actually in New York alongside of this kid.
Yep, and we got DJ Reed still.
Yep.
And then I looked at Shaquille Griffin from last year. Went to Miami.
Jacksonville.
Sorry. He went to Jacksonville, and he graded out at 64.1. Brian's at a 77.1. So if we could pick this guy up, he is number 2 on my wish list.
Number 2. All right. I think we both agree we're gonna bring him in on payday. We're gonna bring that kid back into the fold. Hopefully, I don't know. We'll see what John does. He's unfortunately they've caught us trying to sneak into the VMAC a couple of times, and we're no longer allowed there. No. Anyway, so number 6 on the Pro Football Talk top 11 free agents, Russell Okung. Name a blast from the past, Kevin. Bitcoin feller. I'm not all enthused about bringing him in. Seems like he only played 406 snaps last year, and I think we're pretty good at left tackle, and I like our stone for the future. Unless something tragic happens with Dwayne in training camp, I don't see where this would even be anything that would be a consideration. Kevin, your thoughts?
No, I didn't care for him the first time we had him. Okay. I didn't think he graded out very well. Out of the 400, what was it? You're right. 406 snaps. Sorry about that.
Yeah, it's fine.
He had 4 penalties, 3 sacks allowed.
Yeah, that's not a good average.
No, he can stay somewhere else.
He's
probably a nice guy, but I don't want him on my team.
He told Pittsburgh they can't afford me. So
exactly.
He doesn't like Roethlisberger any more than I do. So there we go.
So bye-bye, Russell.
Bye-bye, Russell. We're gonna pass on Russell. We're gonna move on down to number 7. Our first edge rusher, Melvin Ingram. Okay. He had a 53.8 run defense, but a 76.3 pass rush, and 72.3 overall grade. He's 32 years old. I've read a lot of publications where he would fit well in whatever system he decided to go to as far as a 4-3 system, and would be good here. I don't see this being a possible fit just because I think we've already got Dunlap, and I think you're looking at a mirror image of Dunlap. Kevin, your thoughts?
I agree 100%. I look back and we got Benson Mayowa, Dunlap, Alton Robertson, LJ Collier, Rasheed Green, Kerry Hyder Jr.
Okay.
We got some pretty solid. In fact, Kerry had a 68.6 grade, which isn't too far off, I thought. And
he's younger and hungrier.
And had 9 sacks. I think Melvin is probably a little bit has a better grade and probably a better edge rusher than Dunlap, but I like Dunlap. I
do too.
He is solid. He's a great fit for Seattle. I wouldn't trade him at all. So I don't have anything against Melvin. I don't need him.
Nope. All right. Number 8, Kevin. So we've decided Melvin Ingram, not for us.
No.
Sorry, Melvin. Probably again like a nice guy, but not for the Dave and Kevin experience here. So moving on to number 8, an old friend, old cuddly feller named Richard Sherman. He's prowling around out there trying to figure out where he's going to spend his last couple seasons. Kevin, would you be wow, I don't even get the question out. Would you be open to bringing him back? No, you say.
No, I absolutely disagree with it. I think we got too many young corners that I think have so much upside potential that I don't think we need. If we could bring him back in for like a league minimum, which will not happen.
Right.
And so he could work with and train the young guys, because the guy is a scholar. I mean, graduated from Stanford, boy, and he's in the books. He watches video. He knows what the quarterback does before the quarterback does it.
Right.
If you could have somebody like that teach your young guys, then I'm all for it. But you can't pay him anything, and he's really not going to play that much.
No, and I think he would be more disgruntled at that point than be
Correct.
somebody. All right, so we're both going to pass on number 8, correct?
Yep.
All right, number 9, another offensive tackle, Rick Wagner, played in Green Bay last year, 610 snaps. He's 31 years old. He could play the right or the left tackle. Graded out at a 77. Mm-hmm. Any interest in him, Kevin?
100% interested in him.
Oh,
he's my number 3 pick on the list. He had a knee injury last year, and that's the reason he only played 610 snaps. Same age as everybody else, early 30s. He had 0 penalties in that 610 snaps and 1 sacks allowed. In my opinion, he's 6'6", 315. I think we could pick him up for pennies on the dollar compared to Morgan Moses, even though I'd rather have Moses.
Right.
I think this guy would be a solid number 2, and he would be better than Brandon Shell.
All right. So Kevin's giving this one a thumbs up. Certified fresh, all the good stuff that we like to say. I have to agree with Kevin. I think he would be, if we could get him on the right deal, I think we could bring him in. I don't think he's going back to Green Bay. No. I think we've all noticed that ship is sinking.
Yes,
and they're exiting quickly. The Titanic has more people staying on board than the Green Bay Packers right now.
Exactly.
All right, number 10, Kevin.
Mm-hmm.
Justin Houston, 32 years old, edge rusher from the Indianapolis Colts last year, 9 sacks. Production. What do you think, Kevin? You think he looks good in a Seahawks uniform or not?
I think he would look great in a Seahawks uniform. However, I'm not giving up Kerry Hyder Jr.'s time or snaps to go out and spend, $7-9 million a year for somebody else. I like the guy. I would love to see him in a Seattle uniform, but once again, it'd have to be on a 1-year
league minimum deal.
I'm okay paying him a few $1 million a year, above league minimum. However, it'd be another prove it year.
Yeah.
And I just don't see him doing that.
You're more Randy than I am, because I'm only going to go with the league minimum. I think right now that's what a lot of these guys are getting is the league minimum. And I just do not think we would go out and give him anything more than that. If he wants to come in and get a chance at a ring, well, come on in. Water's fine, but we're not paying you. So There we go. All right, Kevin. And I mean, most people have top 10 lists.
Mm-hmm.
I decided for top 11 because number 11 is a good old friend of mine, somebody I hold near and dear to my heart.
Amen. Number
50, KJ Wright. And I think that at 32 years old, he has a player grade of 75.3. Mm-hmm. Man, I tell you, the day he signs with somebody else, I'm going to have, a
tear.
It's going to be right down the face. That's right. I think at KJ, if we can give him something anywhere close to what he wants, bring him back, give him 1 more year to help bridge the distance between Darrell Taylor playing that strong side linebacker and him, passing the torch. I honestly think that would be something that we would want to do for KJ.
Yeah, and he would be pretty much my 3rd guy on the list. I mean, I'd rather have an offensive.
I said 2nd, Kevin. Sorry.
Oh, wow! I don't know what you're saying, but
right.
Anyway,
I gotta go.
I would like to have an offensive tackle, and I would like to have Brian Poole. If we could I would bring KJ back in a heartbeat if we could add 1 to 3 of those guys. I mean,
Right.
I would like to see us spend our money on an offensive tackle or another cornerback, a quality cornerback for the same price we might bring back KJ.
I think right now, if I was again putting on the hat of the general manager, I think Morgan Moses would definitely be my number one priority. Correct. Second, I think that I would have to restructure something with KJ and try to bring him back in. Number 3, I would definitely be Brian Poole for me. And I think if we could get all 3 of those guys in camp into the VMAC, I would feel really good about that day's work. And I think that, you know, with the money we have left right now, we got all of our draft picks signed. I think, and if we restructure the contract of Jamal Adams, I think we could have enough money to go after those 3 guys. I feel really good that you know, that would really round out our off season. I think that we would have made Russell happy by upgrading our offensive line. I think that we would have addressed the cornerback position. And I think that we would have added depth in our linebacker core. And I think that all 3 of those things are needs that we have. I'm excited. I would love to see that going forward. Kevin, your thoughts?
Yeah, I will have to agree with you. I think Morgan Moses is definitely the first pick. I mean, if we could get him, I'll be ecstatic. If we can't, I would still like to pick up Rick Wagner.
Right.
I would love to pick up Brian Poole because I think he would be a great fit to our team.
Yep.
I think that our old buddy Jamal Adams needs to be picking up the phone himself and doing a little recruiting for us.
Right.
And then KJ Wright. I think with KJ is I totally respect him as a player, and I love him as a Seahawks fan. I really was disappointed with how he left last season and basically saying, I'm not taking a hometown discount. I want top dollar. I get it. You know,
Right.
take it if you can. But to me, that left a little bit of a sour taste in my mouth. And if he happens to go somewhere else, I will be sad because, you know, to me, he's a Seahawk. But at the same time, I'm ready to move on. And if I could pick up an offensive tackle and another solid corner, then I'm good with it.
All right. Well, I tell you what I'd love to hear from you is whether you agree with me or Kevin, whether you think that any of these top 11, somebody intrigues you more, or you think that we're full of crap. Let us know. We want those comments. Give it to us. Tell us, you know, how you feel about the top 11, whether you think that maybe we should be bringing in somebody that you're not even completely thinking about. But this is how we're going to wrap up Seahawks Weekly this week. Kevin, any last comments?
No, I'm good.
Go Hawks.
Go Hawks.